Overnight success in entrepreneurship is not really a thing. And even though our conscious mind understands this, we can subconsciously forget this. For example, you may come across someone's Instagram account that has all of a sudden skyrocketed in followers in what appears to be overnight. But what you don't see are the 5 to 10 years that they've spent struggling, trying to figure out what their message is and what works on Instagram and how to best serve their community. That said, success hardly ever happens after something that you only do once, which is exactly why making sure your daily habits line up with who God has called you to be and what He has called you to do. Now, as you probably know, we can have habits that don't align with who God has called us to be and what He's called us to do. And at the end of the day, the habits that we develop and that we cultivate and that we steward will ultimately determine our future. What we do every day will create the rest of our life, which is exactly why I want to share with you 5 daily habits I recommend every Christian entrepreneur implement if you are ready to see success in your online business. So if you are ready for this, let's go ahead and dive on in. Hey Queen, welcome to Reclaim to Reign. I'm your host, Hannah Brindley, daughter of the King, certified life coach, and faith-fueled business mentor. I know you are so sick of feeling like you worked so hard in your business with little to no reward while staying in this same cycle of self-sabotaging tendencies you know are keeping you stuck. And because of that, I know you are craving to end this never-ending cycle of self-destruction and cultivate a successful, Holy Spirit-led business without letting it become your idol. So if you are ready to be fueled by faith over flesh, fight your battles spiritually instead of physically, take bold action on your God-given callings, and finally create that thriving faith-fueled business, then you're in the right place. Go ahead and reheat your coffee, grab a notebook and pen, and let's dive in. So like I mentioned, it is very important for your daily habits to be in alignment with who God has called you to be and what He has called you to do. Because if they are not in alignment with this, you are going to be going down a completely different path because our habits create our future. So if we want to be in alignment with what God has called us to do and who He's called us to be, if we really want to step into the role of being a faith-fueled CEO, then we need to examine what we are doing every single day. We don't need to just always be looking at, the future strategies and the goals, and those are great. Don't get me wrong. But what we actually need to be examining are our hearts for one, but also our daily actions, our daily habits, because those habits ultimately wind up creating our reality. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the 5 daily habits I recommend implementing if you are an online Christian business owner. So the very first daily habit I recommend implementing that I just believe never ever needs to be skipped, this needs to be, ingrained in your brain, is to pray and to fully surrender your business and your day over to the Lord. Like I said, this is a big one and one that I just do not recommend you skip. It is so important to just pray in the morning. Just pray before you start your day and pray before you start working on your business, and have very specific prayers that you pray. And I'm not going to go full on in depth here because I do have an episode all about praying over your business. It is episode 41 and it's titled 5 Daily Prayers for Every Christian Entrepreneur, Leader, and Business Owner. And I highly recommend you go and listen to that episode after this one when you finish. But I will elaborate on just a couple of those prayers right now. One of those prayers is to pray for your clients, your future clients, your customers, your future customers, your team, your future team, all of that. I want you to pray for them, and not just for them to come into your life. That's a whole different prayer, right? Or for them to come into your business. but for them to be filled with the Holy Spirit and to overflow. And in addition, of course, you can be praying for the right people to come into your path, for the people that you were meant to serve and support, for them to come to you and actually be attracted to the Holy Spirit in you. This is what is so important to pray when it comes to our clients, our customers and our team. And then, of course, for them to see results from working with you. But at the end of the day, we want all these people to be filled with the Holy Spirit, and we want them to overflow. So that, in my opinion, we've just got to be praying that over as many people as possible. But, your clients, your future clients, your team, your customers, these are the people that God has put into your life to pray over. So I just fully think that we really need to be praying for them in this specific way. Now, another thing that I want to mention that also has to do with surrendering your business and the day over to the Lord is to pray that the Lord just take any obsession that you have with success or money or achievement and just replace it with an obsession to know Him and to serve Him and to love Him. Basically, replace your desire with fleshly wants with a desire for those spiritual needs for Jesus. I think so often we can say that we want Jesus all day long and we love Him, but then we get so distracted by other things in this world. And because it is just so easy to fall into that, we need to be praying over this every single day. So now let's move into daily habit number 2, and that is to prioritize your health, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Now I know that this is going to look a little bit different for everyone because everyone's, healthy habits are going to look a little bit different. So for example, my breakfast every day is probably going to look a little bit different than yours, but really at the end of the day, we just need to make sure that we are, taking care of our bodies, that we are stewarding our minds, that we are taking care of our soul and our spirit. That is so important. So this includes things like nutrition, what we are putting into our bodies, movement, how we are moving our bodies, creativity and having more time for fun, time with Jesus and Bible study, social activities with friends and, community, and also, our sleep schedule. All these things are really important. And, yes, this is a pretty general, daily habit right now, but they are so important. And I just needed to put it all in one thing because it is very important. It's very important to have a consistent sleep schedule where you are getting enough sleep. It is very important to fuel your body well. It's very important to move your body every day. These are very important habits to develop. Now, I'm not saying go all or nothing. If you feel like you've been a couch potato, I'm not going to say go and run a marathon tomorrow. Start focusing on 3 small habits a day. So maybe it's, you drink a full bottle of water when you first wake up. You do 20 jumping jacks and you have a breakfast smoothie in the morning. Let those be, small habits that you develop. Like I said, they're going to be different for everyone, but maybe just start with 3 healthy habits where you're taking care of your mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that is going to help you align with who God has called you to be and what He's called you to do. Now, the next daily habit I am going to recommend to you is to pick your top 3 things to do every single day for your business. Now, these 3 things might change every day, but really the idea here is to not pile your to-do list with multiple things that you will most likely not get done, and to actually just pick 3 things that are the most important for the day. Now, when it comes to this, I do recommend that these are the most important and that these are things that are going to move the needle. Don't pick things that aren't going to move the needle forward because, again, that's not going to move the needle forward in your business. And I feel like picking 3 things actually helps you put on your priority hat and your CEO hat, because it's going to help you recognize what is the most important thing. I think when we pile our to-do list out long, we have important things in there, but we wind up doing the things that actually aren't going to move the needle, and then the things that are the most important gets pushed to the wayside. So if you only limit yourself to 3 things to do, you really do have to think about what's the most important thing, and then you will most likely wind up doing them. So this is a really great habit that I have been implementing for quite some time now, and I cannot recommend it enough. That being said, this actually leads me into daily habit number 4, and that is to focus on one thing at a time. Stop multitasking all the time. Your brain is being split into a bunch of different directions, and it's probably not working. Now, if you are a mom and you've got little ones, that is just different. That is a different ball game, okay? So I feel like if you're a mom and you have little ones, you get a pass. Like you get a pass. It is okay. But what I'm talking about are, the people like, I'm talking about me, having multiple tabs open, who might be checking their phone every 5 minutes when, they could be working on the task at hand, that kind of thing. And when this happens, you wind up taking much longer on the task that you are trying to do. And this does not work, right? Because you wind up not getting anything done that day. I actually caught myself doing this yesterday. If I'm being totally honest, I was like, oh my goodness, like why am I getting in this habit again? I gotta stop. And that's why it's in here today, because it's such a good habit. And it's something that I have been really, really good about until, yesterday. If I'm being totally honest, I just kind of let myself. But for the most part, this is something that is so important, and I really do think it helps with your discipline, your focus, your creativity, all of the things, because if your mind is split into so many different ways, you do wind up not being as creative. You wind up not being as focused. You are not clear-headed, and it also takes much longer to get back into doing whatever task you are doing if you are doing multiple things at once. So this is just a reminder to you that a habit to get really good at is to focus on one thing at a time. Now, the final habit that I am going to recommend that you implement is simple. It is to serve and deliver value. That's it. Serve and deliver value every single day to your clients, via your content. However, you take that, I just want you to remember that is such an important habit to get into, is to serve. It's to support. It's to create content that helps people. It is to have conversations with people. It is to serve them either via content or conversations. And that is such an important habit to get into as a business owner. Now, inside of Faith Fueled Coach Academy, my signature coaching program, I do walk you through how to deliver value both via content and also via conversations, which again are the 2 ways, that you are actually serving your people. So that being said, if you are ready to start implementing these daily habits and you know that the Lord has called you to grow a Holy Spirit-led coaching business, then I would highly encourage you to get on the wait list to my signature coaching program, Faith Fueled Coach Academy, or FCA. The castle doors are opening up again so soon, and I would love, love, love to support you inside. So if you want to check out the program, you want to read testimonials, or sign up for the wait list, you can do that by going to www.hannahbrindley.com/FCA, and the link is going to be in the show notes for you too. I really, really hope to see you on the wait list, but all of that to say, those are the 5 daily habits for success for the online Christian business owner, and I will see you next time, my friend. Hey Queen, don't head out just yet. If this podcast has blessed you in some way, it would mean the absolute world to me if you left a written review of the show over on Apple Podcasts. It truly lights a fire in me knowing how God has impacted you through this platform. And since I absolutely adore connecting with you, please, please, please screenshot this episode or your review and post it on your stories on Instagram and tag me at Hannah Brindley. I can't wait to see you over there. So much love to you.